Good evening, brothers. Good evening, brothers. Good evening, brothers of the North Central Province and brothers all. And welcome to our official North Central Province YouTube channel. I hope all the brothers are doing well. I want to send a special shout out to our chair of our community, our public relations and our marketing and social media strategy chair, Brother Aaron Bale. And you all, brothers, I am totally stoked for this evening's interview as we have the absolute privilege and pleasure of introducing and interviewing the 30th North Central Province Polemarch, Brother Darren R. Adams. Brother Polemarch, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Good evening, North Central Province. Good evening to my phenomenal Chief of Staff. I must concur to give a shout out to Brother Aaron Bell, the Director of Brand Management Social Media, has done a fantastic job on increasing our communication, and I am happy to sit before the province and kind of make myself vulnerable and tell a little bit more about myself.
Absolutely, Brother Polemarch. We know you've been super busy, and as you said before, brothers, for those of you that do not know, my name is Jason Campbell. I am the proud Chief of Staff for the North Central Province, the motherland, the homeland of Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. And Brother Polemarch, you're a busy man, so I just want to jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Listen, this Team 30 has been amazing. The synergy and the energy behind Team 30 and all the great things that we're going to do for the mighty North Central Province. But there may be some brothers. Now, I know you're popular, Brother Polemarch, but there may be some brothers, a few brothers, that may not know who Darren R. Adams is. So can you give us a little bit about your background, where you come from? How did you get into our grand fraternity? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother Campbell. Yeah, so I'm a young man from the humble streets of Gary, Indiana, born and raised in Gary to a single mom, Marcel Jones, a proud 1987 graduate of the mighty Roosevelt High School of 25th Avenue in Gary, Indiana. So I raised up there with my younger sister, part of the Britton family household, loved my time in Gary, a true community. And upon a lot of things kind of focused me a little bit towards leadership and being, trying to get and be the best that I possibly can. So I guess I'd start out in my high school days. The first introduction I had to leadership and kind of started molding me was my ROTC instructor in JROTC in high school. And then funny enough, my best friend in high school, who is currently the Vice Polemarch of the Gary alumni and the Province Chaplain, Brother Anthony Titus, and I both kind of raised up through the leadership of Sergeant Stewart over in the JROTC program in high school. So we both met, who ended up being a noob, Brother Michael Towns, who ended up pledging Kappa Alpha Psi at GE at Tuskegee. So we followed under his leadership. We were freshmen. He was a junior, kind of raised under him and liked his leadership, that it was more so about perfection, trying to do the best you can at all times, at all places. So seeing that type of model, as well as the leadership of my ROTC instructor, who gave us the best he could at all times and expected you to put your best foot forward at every opportunity, I kind of ingrained that model in myself. So I had the pleasure of competing to become the cadet commander of the city of Gary, all 5 high school JROTC programs, and won that competition. So I was the cadet colonel and really, really enjoyed it. Gave me a lot of opportunity. But I'll tell you one thing, funny enough, JC, what I really, really learned about it is humility. So when I got an opportunity to be the cadet commander, I had to learn a lesson the hard way. And a funny enough story, we were at a drill team competition. I was a cadet colonel. Head got big. Oh, I'm the brother in charge. We're at Wendy's and the bus is getting ready to leave. And I saw that long line. I said, nah, I'm not waiting in line. I'm the colonel. I'm going to the front. Cut in front of all my high school peers. Next day, I get a call from the colonel commanding over, said, hey, I got complaints, the whole kid and caboodle. Learn my lesson from there, that it's really about service. It's not about being the man in charge. And I try to continue to do that, put that into my own branding at all times. And my co-chair on the ROTC drill team, Brother Titus and I. We both learned that lessons. And I think we've kind of grown that way where he's become a pastor, the chief of police of the Gary Police Department, very proud of him. So, being raised by a single mom with a younger sister and had my uncles around teaching me a lot of great lessons. So I learned a lot. So I say all that to say, I consider myself someone that tries to give my best with always pushing the brothers forward because others are what makes me shine. It's not about me. It's about the bond. It's about the brand of the fraternity. And thereby my motto of this 30th administration, upliftment of the brand, the brothers, and the community. It has nothing to do with me. I want to elevate everybody else. So I'm happily married, residing here in Oak Park, Illinois, have 3 beautiful daughters, an attorney, an engineer, and an insurance adjuster. I have 1 great grandson who's 2 years old, my dynamo Nico. My sister passed away recently, so I have the honor of caring for my 13-year-old nephew, Jeremiah. God blessing that my mom is still alive, residing in Indianapolis. So that's me. That's how I was raised, and that's who I really am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Polemarch. Tell me a little bit more about your professional career. Where do you land, and what do you do for a living?
Okay, absolutely. So as most collegiate students, we go to college thinking we're going to do A, and we end up doing Z. So when I went to college, my first inclination was I was going to be an attorney. I did not mind debating, did not mind arguing. I felt I had a degree of intellect, and funny enough, the amount of reading I had to do, I said that was too much for me. So I ended up changing and using my communication skills and went into management, administration, and finance. So I feel like I have a keen background in numbers. I can do great analysis, spent some time as an investment advisor back in the day. So and then I made a shift out of the financial and business side over into healthcare. So I was representing an organization on the healthcare side at a vendor fair. Lady sitting next to me said, "Hey, I like how you handle yourself. You're articulate, very astute. Have you ever given any consideration to medical sales?" I said, "Not really." Gave it some decisions, some contemplation. I said, "You know what? I'd give it a shot." So for approximately the last 15, 20 years, I've been on the medical side. So most recently, I was the area vice president of medical sales for Amedisys Home Health, which is the second largest home health agency publicly traded in the United States, where I manage 22 sales reps, 8 offices in 3 different states. So I'm looking to do some entrepreneurial ventures. So I pray daily, God, give me the direction on what I need to do. And I'm doing a side project with a good friend of mine who has her own construction company where I handle all finance, payroll, HR for her. So looking to make a transition, but that's me professionally, where I manage and lead a sales team to attain their objectives that to exceed the objectives that the organization set. I never want to just meet a number. I always want to exceed expectations.
Wonderful. That's amazing. You have such a wealth of knowledge. So let's talk about your Kappa journey from undergrad to the Province Polemarch of the North Central Province. How did that journey start? What have you learned from the journey? How does the path of leadership lead from the undergraduate perspective to now being the 30th Province Polemarch? How did it happen?
Well, a lot of prayer, a lot of effort to say. So I'll start at the beginning, which was at Fisk University, the Alpha Delta chapter, December 5th, 1989. So 2 days ago, made my 34th year in the grand bond of fraternity of Kappa Alpha Psi. Yo to the brothers of AD, Fisk University. So JC, I'll tell you, when you initiated that long ago and so young, I would venture to guess that most undergraduates don't really think, okay, one day I want to be Grand Polemarch, one day I want to be Province Polemarch. We're just happy that we crossed into the burning sands of Kappa Alpha Psi. Me being one of those, when I got an opportunity to get in, the role of Vice Polemarch came my way. My line brother, Harold Lewis, who I had much love and respect for, took on the role of Polemarch. but they said, Darren, we want you to be the vice Polemarch elite thereafter. So did that opportunity. Wasn't really big going on Province Council meetings and see Roger Wilson as an undergrad. Always respected the business aspect of it, but that really wasn't something I had a whole lot of interest in. So relocated upon graduation to St. Louis, Missouri. Spent a little time with the St. Louis alumni, but I was starting out my professional career as most undergraduates do, and kind of just focused on my new daughter that was married, new daughter that was born the first year I got there. And I had a job as the bank examiner with the Federal Reserve Bank, which required me to travel almost Monday through Friday, 5 days a week for approximately 4 years. So my free time was null and void. So whenever I did, I try to stop by the St. Louis Alumni House, spend a little time, but most of my focus was on my family and my career. Then I ended up relocating back here to Chicago. And my wife at the time said, you spend a lot of time. I know you're very proud of your fraternity. Why won't you get active again? I said, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it. Let me go ahead and get involved. So I looked around, and at the time I was living in Maywood. And I said, oh, there's some research. Oh, there's a chapter here in Maywood, Illinois. Funny enough, JC, they're nowhere near Maywood. They actually are located in Bolingbrook, but the title is Maywood Wheaton.
Yep.
So long story behind it. The charter members used to reside in Maywood and Wheaton, and then they all relocated out to the Bolingbrook area, but they chartered during the time that they were residing in Maywood. So I went there, fell in love with the chapter, and really fell in even love more so with the business of the fraternity. The brotherhood has always been deep in my heart, but really got a even greater respect for the business acumen of our organization to help us move forward in what we do, to maintain who we are, to maintain order and discipline in our organization. So had some great leaders in that chapter, Brother Art Thurman, Bob Ingram, Fred Chavis, a lot of brothers, Steve Carnes is on the board with us. So it gave me a lot of great knowledge. So the turning point for me, JC, was I happened to be at a Province Council meeting, and it was past Province Polemarch Eldridge T. Freeman Jr. was at the Province Council, and he did a move on Robert's Rules of Order on a particular piece of business that was taking place. He called for a division of the House and a ruling on the chair. Me not being that savvy with Robert's Rules of Order, I had no clue on what he was talking about. So seeing the respect and how everybody had to make sure they were tight in what they were talking about, I said, man, I need to learn what he knows. I mean, the information is there. I need to understand what the business of our organization is, so I need to dive in deeply. And then finding out he was a past Province Polemarch, I said, that's who I want to mirror my background and career behind in Kappa Alpha Psi. So I happened to be at a Super Bowl party at one of the brothers' houses from Maywood Wheaton, and I was having a long discussion with one of my advisors, Brother Art Thurman, and I said at that time, Brother Thurman, I think I want to try to ascend to a higher level in the organization and offer myself and the services and the skill sets that I feel that I have. So I remember it like it was yesterday. Brother Thurman said, Brother Adams, you sure you want to do that? This is a long, rough, and rugged road. It's not easy. A lot of political positions that you have to take and a lot of things that you need to do. And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. I said, if I'm in it, I'm in it. My line name being Nemesis. When I start something, I never give up. So fast forward 17 years later, I went from Province reporter to assistant to keeper records of the province, to C. Roger Wilson chairman, to 6 years as senior province vice Polemarch, and then have the pleasure on July 22nd, 2023, to be appointed by the new 35th Province Grand Polemarch to the role of Province Polemarch of the mighty mothership, the North Central. So I am very pleased, very proud to get here. And I say all of that again, JC, is for anyone that wants to offer themselves for this opportunity. This is not something that you ought to consider very lightly. I've discussed it with my family. I prayed about it because there's a lot of work. There's a lot of expectation, and the brothers and the bond deserve it. So I'm going to give it my best that I possibly can at all times. I love the brothers of the North Central as I love my home in the South Central, but this is my home. So brothers, I'm here to stay, and I'm going to give you the best that I got.
Well, Brother Polemarch, you have been a true blessing to us, and we thank you so much for that. I've got one more quick question before I let you go, and that is Team 30. I know you have a great vision out there. I know you have great plans for the province. Can you just give us a quick rundown, maybe a 3-point snapshot of what you hope to accomplish as the Province Polemarch in your tenure?
Yes, sir. Well, I have to go back to our motto, JC, which is uplift the brothers, uplift the brand, and uplift the community. Everything that we try to do that I'm focused on is always falling back on those 3 pillars. So you'll see increased communication out to the brothers. You'll see recognition and highlighting of brothers doing great things professionally, personally, and in their community, uplifting the brothers. Again, it's not about me. I want the world to know. I want the province to know what their peers and their brothers are doing in the great works that they're doing out there. Uplift the brand. I'm sure I'm not the first person that sees this, is that throughout our world and throughout the Greek community, there's been a lot of negative press due to hazing, a lot of things going on about the life in Greek. And the question comes up, are Greek organizations still worthwhile? Well, I'll be the first one to jump up and say, yes, they are, and yes, we are. And I want everyone to look at us and say, by uplifting the brand of Kappa Alpha Psi, putting our information out there, strategic partnerships, alliances, and uplifting this brand model and doing the right thing at the right time, the community and the world will say Kappa is still relevant and we want to be part of that organization. And lastly, I'll say, Brother JC, it is the upliftment of the community. All of that we do, our fundamental purpose is being achievement, but we are uplifting our community more now than ever. There are a lot of forces that are working against us, whether it's voting, racism, economic disparities, health disparities. We want to make sure that our community gets the fair share that they deserve, whether it's financial equity or whatever the case may be. So my role and my goal under Team 30 is to uplift our community through blood drives that we're doing, focusing on things that make the most relevancy to the African community. Sickle cell, where we're doing I want every undergrad upon graduation to have an internship or a job coming out. So we're doing job fairs at C. Roger Wilson at Province Council to even those brothers that want it, they're already in professional realms, maybe making changes to different fields of human endeavor. So uplifting community in that way. So again, brothers, before I leave you, I just want to remind you one more time, Team 30, we've created new opportunities, new appointees, but everything that we do, everything that my heart will focus on for this team will be the upliftment of the brand, the brothers, and the community. I say yo.
Brother Province Polemarch, again, thank you so much for the opportunity, for an amazing interview. Brothers, I hope you all get on board. I am excited. I hope you're excited as well. We have an amazing leader, and we are all excited to be able to follow him and see what the Lord is going to bring for the North Central Province. I do want to send a friendly reminder, Brothers Province Council registration is open. Please go to our website at www.ncpcapsi.org and register now. Don't wait till the last minute, brothers. Register now. This Province Council is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So, Brother Polemarch, again, I say thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your treasure. Brother, thank you. And please be on the lookout for our YouTube channel and our social media platforms for more content that will be coming soon. God bless you, brothers. And I say, yo to the news.
Yo, yo.